Today, we're going to dive into something that could seriously change the entire financial equation of enterprise AI. We're talking about making these powerful models way more efficient, more accessible, and, this is the big one, more trustworthy. Let's get into IBM's brand new Granite 4.0 model family.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the big question. What if all of your company's AI workloads, the complex data analysis, the customer support bots, all your coding assistants, what if they suddenly became over 70% more efficient? Think about what that really means for your budget, your hardware needs, and your ability to scale up. That right there is the core promise we're going to explore.
So why is that 70% number such a huge deal? Well, it's because it smashes right into a massive roadblock that's been holding back enterprise AI. It's a technical problem, sure, but it has enormous financial consequences for any business trying to use these large models at scale.
And here's the culprit. It's something called the quadratic bottleneck. Now, with the traditional transformer models that power most of today's AI, if you double the amount of information you feed them, like, say, a really long financial report, the computational power and the memory you need doesn't just double, it quadruples. It's a brutal curve that just skyrockets costs, demanding incredibly expensive, high-end GPUs, and pretty much making large-scale AI a luxury item.
So how in the world do you break through that crazy expensive bottleneck? Well, IBM's answer isn't just to throw more power at the problem. Nope, it's to fundamentally rethink the architecture from the ground up.
What Granite 4.0 brings to the table is a hybrid architecture. It's this really clever mix that combines the proven strength of traditional transformer layers with a newer, much more efficient technology called Mamba. The key difference is, instead of trying to process everything all at once like a transformer, Mamba handles information in sequence, which dramatically cuts down on the computation. So it's not about replacing one with the other, it's about getting the best of both worlds.
And wow, the difference is just stark. On the one hand, you've got the traditional model. As your input size grows, the computation and memory needs just explode. That's that steep, expensive curve we were talking about. But then you look at Granite's hybrid approach. The scaling is linear. You double the input, you only double the work. And get this, the memory requirement stays constant. This isn't just a small improvement, it is a total game changer for efficiency.
Now, this new architecture isn't just some cool idea on a whiteboard. It translates directly into real, tangible, measurable benefits that you can see in everyday business situations.
And this brings us right back to that headline number. For the kind of stuff enterprises do all day, like analyzing long legal documents or handling thousands of customer chats at once, Granite 4.0 slashes the RAM requirement by over 70%. In plain English, that means you can run incredibly powerful AI on much cheaper, more accessible hardware. It basically democratizes access to high-end AI.
Think about a system under heavy load, like a customer service center during a massive product launch. A conventional model's memory usage would just skyrocket, threatening to slow the whole system to a crawl. But Granite 4.0's hybrid model keeps that usage low and totally manageable, ensuring you get consistent, reliable performance right when you need it the most.
And here's this almost counterintuitive benefit, which is honestly fascinating. Most systems, they buckle under pressure. But Granite's hybrid models can actually get faster and more efficient when the workload gets really heavy, right at the point where other models would just fall over. The more you throw at them, the more their efficiency advantage really shines through.
And this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution either. IBM gives you a whole menu of options. Whether you need a real workhorse like the small version for complex enterprise workflows, or a tiny, super-efficient nano model for apps that run on a device, there's a version of Granite that's optimized for exactly what you need.
Efficiency is one thing, but what about raw performance? Does it actually do the job? Well, Granite 4.0 excels on the benchmarks that really matter for business. It shows top-tier performance in following complex instructions, accurately calling on other software tools to automate workflows, and handling complex RAG, that's retrieval augmented generation, where the AI pulls in fresh, external knowledge to give much more accurate answers.
So the models are efficient, and they're powerful. But for any real enterprise, especially if you're in a regulated industry like finance or healthcare, that's only half the battle. The other absolutely non-negotiable part of the equation is trust. And this is where IBM is making another huge statement.
This right here is a landmark achievement. Granite is the first open-source AI model family to be certified under ISO 42001. Now, this is the world's first international standard for AI management systems. It covers everything from accountability and data privacy to reliability and transparency. It's basically a formal, audited seal of approval that says, yes, this is ready for serious enterprise work. And hey, you don't just have to take IBM's word for it. The CEO of Shellman, that's the accredited firm that did the audit, called this a major milestone and said it sets an important precedent for the entire AI industry. That kind of third-party validation is absolutely critical.
And that certification is really just one piece of a much bigger, multi-layered approach to building trust. The models are released under the Apache 2.0 license, which encourages open innovation. The governance is audited. The model files themselves are cryptographically signed so you know they're authentic. And IBM has even launched a bug bounty program to proactively find and fix any potential vulnerabilities. They've really covered all the bases.
Okay, so we have a family of models that are efficient, they're high-performing, and they're built on this incredible foundation of certifiable trust. The final critical piece of the puzzle is, well, how easy is it to actually use them?
And this is where IBM has been super smart. Their approach is basically to meet developers wherever they already are. They've made Granite 4.0 available across the entire AI ecosystem. So whether you're working with tools like Hugging Face and Allama, or you're deploying on enterprise-grade platforms from NVIDIA or Dell, these models are ready to be plugged right into your workflow today.
Which brings us to our final thought. By tackling the core enterprise issues, cost, performance, and governance, head-on, Granite 4.0 is making a really compelling case. It paints this picture of a future where powerful AI isn't just for the companies with the deepest pockets and the biggest data centers, but it's an accessible, trustworthy tool for everyone. So the question is, are we looking at the new standard?